Greetings and salutations, this is CarnagePanda right here, and this is a cardboard cutout of Featherhoof. We're here for Anime Talk for summer of 2019 to discuss all the glorious shows, or maybe not so glorious shows that we saw today. And we'll get to them right away.
So coming in at number 5 this week for week 5 of Anime Talk summer 2019, we have Dr. Stone.
I heard you didn't like this episode.
I did not, because
I'm interested in hearing your thoughts.
I would hope so, because seeing as that's sort of the purpose of this.
I was interested before the show.
Oh, okay. Well, here's my problem. My major problem with this episode is that 2/3 of it is spent going backwards instead of actually progressing the story.
I guess you do have a point that they stalled the narrative in this episode for half the episode.
Half? It was like 2/3! There was like 2 minutes of new content, and the rest of it was stuff that was already implied that we had no reason or desire or any benefit in seeing.
Yes, Dr. Stone has made Featherhoof violently angry.
I'm not violently angry. God damn it! It just okay. So we get Shishio's assassination of Senku again, and I kind of dug this bit where Shishio's like, "Oh wait a second. I need to defend myself against Taiju now."
Yeah. He was like... First off, he uses his fucking Shishio clue powers. He just pulls this out of his fucking ass. He's like, Taiju's emotional now. He's gonna hurt me. I need to protect myself.
And what I found funny is that his Sherlock Holmesian mind is entirely wrong.
Yeah, he's entirely wrong about the entire situation too. He
misreads everything.
He got trapped in Siku's Batman gambit.
He kind of did, yeah.
So I did find the front portion of this episode interesting.
Yes, and that's why the second part, like the second 2/3 of it, was so infuriating.
Like, I used to love Naruto, and I said this while we were watching the show, but you know, partway through part 2,
after the time skip,
they just
okay.
They just stop using all these tactics and stuff that ninjas are... This is what made the show great, you know? It's not about, oh, I could punch harder than you. Well, maybe some characters could punch hard, but they had to figure out a way to use that to their advantage. And it would be really tactical and everything. And then, like, partway, they're just like, yeah, I'm just going to spam a fucking forest at you, or toss a meteor from the sky, and...
Or, I was like, here, have a mountain.
And it just got really boring and...
Or I'm invincible because I have the giant shadow fire demon thing around me.
Yeah, that too. It was just...
What? I have an eye that can predict all your fucking moves. I have an eye that can siphon out all your fucking chakra. I have an eye that just wins.
Yes. Also the bizarre eye transplant surgeries. which is impossible, but okay.
Hold on. You know what? Your eyes look better than mine. Excuse me.
Oh, fuck!
Hold on, got this. There we go. Woo!
Yeah, it was a very interesting battle. Like, and...
Because, like...
what's her name? Yuzu?
We'll just go with Yuzu, yeah, because I can't remember.
Actually useful.
Yes!
Actually a useful character that has tits.
What I found interesting is that Taiju and Yuzu are actually useful. They're not just dumbasses that Senku sort of drags around with them.
Yeah.
They actually know the plan, and they actually know how to execute it.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, this is what Senku wanted us to do. And they do it. You know, they throw gunpowder and ignite it right in front of Shishi.
I love that, because, like, he's like, Taiju, like, lifts the fucking boulder,
And Shishio's like, oh fuck, that's crazy shit.
Yeah, I got a defense stance. And it's like, ooh. And it's like, he like, flings it up, and he's like, and like, uses all like...
Yeah, Shishio's trying to use all of his detective powers to figure this out.
He's like, just laser focused on Taiju.
He's like, he didn't mean to throw that rock at me. He's gonna do something else.
It's a decoy. It's a decoy.
He's like, it's a decoy. He's gonna do something else. But the decoy was for Yuzu. Yep. And he didn't catch that.
Nope.
And she throws a bunch of gunpowder in front of him. And he's like, and Taiju's like, gotcha.
Well, what I found funny is because, now this is the point, I'm going to complain a little bit about the first half, even though it was awesome. Nobody speaks in this opening half. I think there's only one line in the entire opening part of this episode, and it's Taiju going to Yuzu going, don't worry, I'm calm.
And he's like, don't worry, man, I'm calm.
And the rest of it is told in inner monologue.
Yeah, it is.
3 inner monologues independent of each other.
I think, you know, in my personal opinion, so far, this is the best battle shonen sequence I've seen this year.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
This makes me more interested in Dr. Stone because we've watched Demon Slayer and Fire Force, and I got my complaints about Fire Force.
We both do, yeah.
Yuzu's a lot more useful, and she's an actual character.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see this, but it is dragged down by this flashback.
So they grab Senku's body, and then I guess some of Shishio's just detective powers transferred to them, because they were like, oh wait, Senku it meant him to attack him in the neck, because he like goaded him into attacking him in the neck for a reason. Oh, he still has some of his petrification still on his neck.
No, they actually deciphered that one. It wasn't as bullshit as Shishio going. It wasn't as bullshit as Shishio just looking down and going, yeah, the tea leaves are telling me that.
Right, but here's the thing. Why it bothers me is that everything in the show is either implied or outright shown to you. And it's then like you use the detective work to go, oh, that's how that ties into this, that, and the other. This one, they had to specifically point out that Senku, before the petrification, never did the neck cracking thing.
Yeah, he keeps doing this neck cracking thing, and they're like, he never used to do that before. Why is he doing that?
Well, that's never brought up until right now.
It's never brought up. He didn't foreshadow this very well.
No, they didn't. But it turns out,
I don't know if it's a problem with the show or the original manga.
I don't know this is fact. I would imagine the manga probably had more time to flesh this out and probably did.
Where Taiju and Yuzu are like, why do you keep cracking your neck? And he's like, haha, it's nothing.
But yeah, he has a little bit of the petrification right where his cervical nerve is.
Yeah, so this was just a plan by Senku to get Shishio to hit him in the back of the neck to crack that.
Because the magical miracle liquid actually repairs cracks and breaks when it depetrifies people.
Yeah. So Senku wins this round.
Well, we don't know, because they go to pour it on him, and the little petrification on the back of his neck starts to crack and breaks away, and the moment it does, the show shifts backwards in time to the point in which Senku wakes up from his petrification for the first time, and we spend the last 2/3 of this episode showing everything we already know. Like, showing everything we already know that happened. It's like, oh, he got out and he developed tools. Actually, it was kind of funny, because they were doing this RPG sort of thing, the
RPG thing where...
Acquired some stone tools. Acquired sharp knife or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of dug that.
Shiny monkey or whatever.
Yeah, it's like he kept doing these like dubbing. He did dubbing for the monkeys that were watching him.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of monkeys that I don't know if he's trying to do their thoughts or something.
I think it was done because it was his voice.
They're like, man, the shiny monkey's crazy. He must be really dumb. And they're just like watching him while he's trying to get all this shit together just so he can make fire.
Yes, and tools.
Which he does very poorly at first.
He does, yeah. But I mean, that's part of his thing, because he's big into science, and science is about trial and error, and, that's really awesome. It's great and all. But I don't think we needed to, halt the plot progression for this. Everything that we saw, it was already implied, and we saw the outcome. What was the purpose of this portion of the show?
It was to tell us about the monkeys?
I guess, because that's the only new element that was added into this, were the fucking monkeys.
Other than maybe the part where he talks about where he dug a hole and he put a chalk line down around his body when he got up to do. He's like, I'm going to solve this mystery.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to revisit that at some point.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or if it's just going to be a dropped plot point, which would be a plot hole.
Yeah. But that's... I don't know, okay. Like I said, the first part of this episode, loved it. I was like, oh my god, that was badass.
Yeah.
Although, I'm still, it's like, okay, they caused an explosion at point-blank range at Shishio, and the most that happened to him, shit, my shirt got singed. Well, gotta get rid of this. As we all know, from Bruce Lee movies, when you lose your shirt, you become more powerful.
They just made him stronger.
I know, what fools! Fools!
Which I guess Yuzu can never become as powerful as she wants to be because she can't take her shirt off.
Sure she can, and by anime logic, with female characters, the less clothing she has, the more immortal she is.
Point taken, Shishio takes this fucking blast. If she took her shirt off, oh man, it's game over.
Yep, it's literally we have the impenetrable shield versus the
unstoppable object.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more battles. I want to see that one chick that they put in the opening, which
she was in the last episode. I thought we were gonna get that.
She looks really cool.
She
I
does.
like the character design.
I wanted to see her because it was hinted, really heavy last episode.
And that's what I expected because they showed that. I expected that they weren't gonna throw a bunch of gunpowder and ignite it right in front of Shishio, which is like the most badass thing they could have done. But I expected reinforcements were going to show up.
Something, yeah. I mean, did it subvert our expectations? Yeah, and that could be a good thing. But then they decided to just bring the show to a grinding halt. I mean, not everything... I mean, good storytellers know that not everything has to be shown. Things can be implied and left at that. This was not necessary.
That's exactly why I wrote 2 books. Because I had written a chapter in my first book that I published, self-published on Amazon.
Links below in the description if you want to see it.
And it ended up being 12,000 words long. And I had omitted a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I reread through it when I was revising some of it,
yeah,
I was like, you know what? I really like this stuff.
Yeah.
But this is slowing the narrative down way too much, and I need to remove this.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong here. And so I took that out and rewrote the chapter entirely. And I was like, man, I don't really want to just throw all this material that's trash because I worked on it already. So I just built some more stuff, put the other scenes in there, and wrote another book off of it. Which,
now, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Which I think works better in the end.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what. I would accept the stuff that we saw today if it was the first episode. If we had focused on, instead of focusing on Taiju after the 3,000 years and all that, if we had immediately focused on Senku and all the stuff we got today, I wouldn't have complained about it as much, because at least it's furthering the narrative. Here, the way they proportioned it out and they, lined it up, this is halting the narrative to go backwards to tell us things that you already told us.
This feels like, this feels like a Shonen Battle filler.
It did.
Almost exactly the same techniques they use in every show.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to catch up to the manga.
I mean, is Dr. Stone a new manga? Is it ongoing?
I don't know how many chapters are out.
But is it a new manga? That's what I'm asking.
I think it came out in the summer of 2017.
Okay.
So...
Well, unless it's coming out...
There's got to be like less than 100 chapters out there.
Well, I sincerely doubt they're going to catch up that fast. I mean...
Well, they don't do that anymore, but this feels exactly like what they used to do.
Yeah.
Just the pad roof. Like, you get the 5 minutes in the front just to slow it down so they're not catching up.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's exactly what that felt like.
Yeah. So, that was Dr. Stone this week. I was personally disappointed heavily.
Be mad.
Well, they front-loaded it with, like, I'm interested. Oh, keep going. Yes. Where does this go? And then, nope. Hard stop. And nothing for the last, 17, 18 minutes.
Yeah, I'm also disappointed because this is one of the things that kills me is new characters. I want to see the new characters.
Yeah. Especially, and even worse, last episode, they showed her. She was there she's lit the bonfires.
I want to see that one guy in the opening. I want to see this chick. I want to see the kid wearing the little helmet.
Which one guy? The one that's also a scientist, or
I don't
the
know
one with the one that has the emo hair and face?
Yeah,
or...
something like that.
Okay.
He's got to be a bad guy.
Well, we'll see what happens. We saw him in this episode, very, very briefly.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't have any more thoughts on this show.
Yeah, I don't either. It's
more of the first part of the episode.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. How about as you're a show and you have a narrative? Let's progress it. Move it along. Let's not halt it dead in its tracks. We're just retreading old thoughts here. We're halting the narrative.
We're halting the narrative here.
So let us go ahead and
100%.
10 million%.
10 million%. Yeah. we nailed it.
Yes. So with that, let's go ahead and move right along.
On today's MILF Isekai, I was kind of not liking this episode.
It had a few good parts, a parts that there's a part really early in the episode that made me bust up pretty good. But as a whole, as a whole episode, I'm just sort of kind of eh.
We have our first villain.
Yes, the Empress of the Night or Empress of Darkness or something like that.
Yeah, so apparently she had a program that allowed her to cheat.
Yep, she's using hacks. She is lead hacksaws. But she's one of those people who has no idea how to use the lead hacksaws. Someone just what'd she say? She it was given to her in an anonymous direct message, and she just okay, I'll just play with it.
Not sure I buy that. I think the administrators gave it to her and then tried to play. Oh, we didn't do that.
Well, one of my favorite scene was right at the beginning. Well, not right. We got because right at the beginning was the flashback with Wise and her mom when they first got into the game.
Yeah.
Whereas Wise's mom just hey, we're playing this game, and she gets sucked in.
But she's what the fuck? No, I'm not playing this game with you.
And just and it showed how just what's his name? Makaso?
Makun? Masato or...
Masato.
Yeah, Masato.
Yeah, Masato, he just like with Masato and his mom, Wise is, she has cool powers, her mom completely outshines her in every aspect.
Yeah, she got really disappointed because of that. And...
they had a fight, and she stormed out.
They just don't get along, period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they went into the last episode. Why? She didn't want to she didn't want to hang out with her mom. Her mom's... she calls her...
Mom's not cool anymore.
Well, seeing as she spent all their money on fucking host clubs and everything.
I thought you were about to say hostess stacks, and I was like, okay.
What? She's not me. What are you talking about?
Anyway, yeah.
But when it gets back to the party, and they're like, okay, we're going off to find the Empress of the Night, and they go off into the woods, and they see the coffin impaled on the branch.
The comedy in this show is good.
And I love it because they were we better revive her. And then Shirase comes out and she's like, it's really great and all that you revived me. The problem I have with it, however, is I really wish you would have revived me after you removed me from the life-ending impale, the life-ending impaling branched here.
She dies again. Oh yeah, she kind of casts a death spell on Masato at the beginning.
Oh yes, she actually literally cast death. I love that shit.
She cast a death spell on him. I don't know if it worked or if it did.
Well, I think we can assume it did, and Porter probably revived him.
Yeah. Either she revived him or Porter. Poor Masato. Could you imagine actually living in a fantasy world where your girlfriend knows a death spell?
Hey, they're not girlfriend and boyfriend. They're not. They said they're not.
Oh, they're not?
Yeah, no.
Okay, whatever. Knows a death spell and a revive spell. And you piss her off. And she's like, okay, I'm done with you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I don't even want to think about that. That just creeps me out. But, so, Shirase gives them the lowdown and then casts the ultimate GM spell, the Banhammer, which summons...
It wasn't exactly a banhammer.
It wasn't, no, it was a summoning spell.
It was a summoning spell that brought her and her throne of hot guys through it. So, not a banhammer.
No, does Japanese not know what banhammer is?
I think they know what a banhammer is. They just fucked it up.
Ah.
The author fucked this one up.
So they have... Like, suddenly this turns into, like, a bit of a shonen, and I kind of dug it for that. Because all of a sudden we have this kind of a neat fight scene. Complete with, like, the emotional upheaval, and the characters, like...
This is not the fight scene that I wanted. I wanted, what's her name?
Wise.
No.
Momoko.
Momoko. And, Wise's mom. Did they even give her a name?
Yes.
Yeah, Wise's mom and Momoko to get in, like, a Jello wrestling match. You know what else is going to happen in this show, don't you?
I know, it's probably going to happen. But...
Yeah, tentacles.
We already had the Jello fight, remember?
Oh, we did have the Jello fight. I guess slimes are
Yeah.
This show goes places.
So yeah, we have...
But it did go places this episode.
Yeah, you just say while we were watching it, it's like, watch. You just watch. They're going to have the drawn-out mud wrestling match.
And we don't get that.
No.
Instead, we get an actual fight.
Yeah, suddenly, like, the comedy is just dropped for, like, serious fight with, like, serious overtones. Comedy is like, I was like, what? We're a comedy? Nope, not right now, we're not.
But Wise's poor mother just can't win the fight because apparently mages in this world are just dumb. Just fucking dumb.
Either that or they need to balance the game a little better.
Yeah, they either need... Wise and her mom either need to stop being dumb or they need to balance it better.
Because apparently the status effect of silence...
It's just overpowered.
Yeah, it affects with 100% probability.
Yeah, she kind of gets wrecked by Porter.
Yeah, literally, Porter, the non-combatant wrecks her.
The non-combatant just throws a potion, or was it a rock or something?
She gave a potion to Masato that Masato then threw at her, and it caused the silence effect. The
sealed her magic,
yes.
And she was done.
Yep.
Until she activated the cheat program and summoned some Pokemon and...
I don't know, I'd say more Digimon.
Digimon?
Yeah, they're digital monsters. Digimon are the champions.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she summons some Digimon to attack them.
That Momoko just goes, easily dead, easily dead, easily dead.
And it turns out that, Wise's mom just loses the fight.
After she summons her army of trees! She summoned an army of trees. That
sends you DNA. Yeah.
that at first Momoko easily dispatches, and then she goes, "Oh, oops! I forgot to make using the cheat program make the objects indestructible. Ha ha ha! I made them indestructible now." So then Momoko like then uses the water spell to like her water sword to like burrow underground and then come up into the cheat room and broke it.
And that's pretty much the end of the episode, because after she gets defeated, she drops back into her street clothes.
Yeah, and then logs out.
Her and Weiss start having an argument, and they have the...
Okay, so remember, the win condition of this game, the only way you can log out is if you bond. Yeah, you and your mother bond. And their bullshitties is that...
This is a weird way of bonding.
Yeah, they said because they're just in each other's... the things they're throwing back at each other, back and forth, like Weiss's mom is like, saying, I'll make you even more flat-chested than you already are. It's like, fuck you, Mom! I never wanted to come out from between your legs! You fucking bitch! Like, just screaming at each other. And then Momoko...
These are actual lines. Like, he's not even exaggerating.
Yeah, this isn't me, like, making up some kind of lines or whatever. These were lines in the show, okay? This isn't me, like, trying to be funny. That was what they said. And then... Momoko I think it was either Momoko or Masato, was like, the win condition is successful because only a mother and daughter with that kind of bond can argue like that. It's like, what?
Okay.
And then Wise's mom logs out.
But Wise is like, I need to stay in the game because I don't like Masato. I really don't like him at all.
Nope. So, I guess the only thing I really, like, we didn't really go over it, but I did kind of enjoy it. And maybe it's just because I'm in this weird mode because I just visited my, my baby niece for the first time. She was just born the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like this whole thing about, like, the bond between parents, like when... Like, just the between parent and child, the thing that Weiss's mom, he's like, all children are fucking selfish, and they're like a ball and chain to all parents. Then Momoko's responses to that, he's like, of course they are. Of course I harbor these feelings. But you know what? These are the kind of feelings that only a mother can have. And that, and I cherish those feelings and this, that, and the other. And I don't know, I can't do it justice. I honestly can't, but it was like, I kind of dig this. I'm digging this. It's weirdly serious for this comedy, but I mean...
Yeah, I just felt like this was too serious for this show.
I don't know. I dug it because even Masato, when Wise's mom's like, "Are you a selfish child too?" And he's like, "Yeah." But that's because I am a child.
I can't tell what kind of show the show wants to be because it started off. This episode confuses me a lot. Like. This show was it just starts out as a comedy and a, I guess, deviant, kind of fan servicey show.
Yeah.
And then we have this episode.
Where it weirdly felt more like an isekai than a comedy for once. It was really weird. It was like, oh, wait. Oh, that's right. This is an isekai, isn't it? It suddenly feels like an isekai. This is weird. It was a comedy like a minute ago.
Like the closest thing I can compare this to is Konosuba, but Konosuba was never serious.
No.
Never serious at all.
Yeah, I have no other basis for a comparison, to be perfectly honest. I can't think of anything that would fit this. No, I got nothing. I don't know. I like the episode, but like I said, I liked parts of it. And parts of it, like the opening, it cracked me up with Shirase. Even the ending with the actual Shirase, where she like comes with like, "Hi, just came to tell you that I got another quest for you." And by another quest, I mean things that
this whole Shirase segment was.
It's like things that we want the GMs to do, but they don't have the power to. So we're going to have you do their job for them.
Yeah, it goes straight back into comedy, and she's like, your next location, and instead of pointing it, like, light beam shoot out of her eyes, she's like, over there. So, yeah, I feel like this show is is at its strongest when it is doing this comedy.
Yeah.
And then, I just don't know how to feel about the serious stuff.
It feels out of place.
Which, we're getting the new girl, the priest, or whatever she does. which, okay, because Wise already does healing magic and attack magic. So I don't know why they need a dedicated healer class in this game.
I don't know.
But we're getting her, and I guess her mother, who looks crazy too.
Yeah.
In the next episode. I just want more comedy.
Yes, I am hoping this episode does focus more on comedy. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I didn't hate the serious section. It just felt like it was from a different anime.
I mean, even when they're doing the fan service scenes, they're able to slip in the comedy.
Oh yeah. I think, but then
that's the thing that I'm enjoying the most about this show.
The thing I think we were talking about like a few weeks. Was it last? It wasn't. I don't know if it was last week or week before, where it's like, yeah, they're doing the tropes, but it feels like they're making fun of the tropes.
Exactly.
And I hope they keep. I want them to go back to that and
like
still stick with that.
Instead of going into the other world and shit. What's one of those crazy where you go into the demon lord and all the chicks are loving you and stuff, or.
Well, it's like one of the things like
you're going in there with your smartphone.
Remember Rising of the Shield Hero? Like first episode before, the poor Shield Hero got his, all the bad things happened to him. He starts like, oh, dude, I totally got isekai'd. Oh, I'm getting the isekai harem. It's like he starts thinking.
Yeah, but Masato actually does have a harem.
I know, but I'm just.
Or will have a harem. I don't know if 2 girls counts as a harem.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he it's like the fourth wall breaking, where he starts to point out the tropes and, laugh about them. This is actually just making fun of the tropes by using the tropes. And I dig that, and it was funny for a while. Like I said, every time they do it, it's funny. But then, like you said, it weirdly deviates to this shonen isekai seriousness. It's like, out of place. Didn't hate it, just out of place. So that was Mommy Isekai this week. Not bad, just weird.
This show is already weird.
But weird for even it, because like I said, it just sort of.
I will never know how to take this show.
Yeah.
At all.
So let's find another show we might be able to get a firmer grasp on. With the next entry. Coming up next is the anime where we went back to You Even Lift, Bruh? Also known as How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift? We are back with that. We dropped Demon Girl Next Door because it just wasn't doing anything for us. And we come back with this episode. Jesus Christ.
You know what? I'm enjoying this show.
Yeah, I absolutely, I'm having way more fun.
This is a season that I don't think we've really had before. There's always fan service shows.
Yeah.
But this season seems incredibly dedicated to fan service.
I don't know, like, with this show, I'm actually, just because they continually throw fan service in your face, I don't know if this is the way for you, but when I'm watching this show, I'm sort of just looking past the fan service. I'm just focusing in on the comedy.
It's hard for me to get past the fan service because the only reason that the main character Hibiki is doing this stuff is because she wants a boyfriend, and she wants to lose weight. Which
wait, what was that? A plot point that was introduced in the 2 episodes I didn't see?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because like the only plot point I remember is that, oh dear God, I'm at 55 kilograms. Dear God. Oh, no.
I am such a fatty.
I'm fatty because I'm 55 kilograms. Must do something about.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only plot point I know.
There's a plot point that she wants this. She wants to have a boyfriend, so she's trying to get fit, which I just don't understand because.
Like, seriously, man.
She's not overweight, really.
No,
and
teenager me would be like, I'll be a boyfriend. Shit, I'll do it. You're fucking hot.
she has one of the most outrageously gorgeous bodies ever.
Yeah, no, it's stupid. But what did we get this episode?
We got Machio.
Well, we always get Machio.
Best boy Machio.
Oh fucking hell!
Best boy of the season is Machio.
You told me about it, and I didn't believe you. But we've got Machio in the other episode we talked about where he rips through his clothes to bust Hulk out of his tracksuit. he told me about how Machio is basically, he's basically Ms. Marvel, like the new Kamala Khan Ms. Marvel, because he apparently can, like, change his body size, because he reverse hulks by zipping up his tracksuit. He reverse
Anytime
hulks.
he puts on a new tracksuit, he actually gets smaller.
Is that some kind of weird compression technology?
Is this some kind of superpower of his?
I don't know. It's just...
And his tracksuit budget has to be enormous.
Yeah, because after he puts that new tracksuit on, within minutes, he ripped through that one as well.
He's like, I gotta do another pose, yeah!
Masu! Which, by the way, and this might be culturally insensitive, I don't fucking care. I just love listening to Machio say, Masu! It's so fun. I love listening to him say it.
So this episode, Hibiki gets depressed. Not really.
No.
She's like sitting in a classroom and her teacher's going, yeah, so we have to do the sports festival.
Yeah, it's like
and
the first semester, or first day back to the semester, summers. Because they have a summer semester, I guess?
This is too much work.
Was it after the summer? Like, the summer break is over?
Yeah, she's like, the summer break's over or whatever. Japanese school years are different than ours.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how exactly they work, but like their new school year starts in the winter or spring.
I don't know.
But yeah, they get back from their break and teacher is like, yep, gotta do this. And Hibiki's like, no, I don't want to do this.
Also, I thought it was like, at first she's just dismissive of it. She's like, well,
yeah, I'm not gonna do this.
Yes, the sporty kids over there always get on the teams, and I'll just I'll sit this one out. And when the teacher goes, actually, this year everyone will be to participate because
lottery.
Yeah, lottery. And poor Hibiki.
Like, no.
She's like, what? Because
she couldn't believe her bad luck.
Yeah, because she had very bad luck because she gets pulled for the lottery to be the anchor in the 400-meter relay. Sorry, relay.
And this is the thing that she wants to do the least.
I think it's the thing everyone wants to do least, except for
Kemi.
Yeah, Kemi. Kemi's all into it.
There's just when they get to the exercise segment, so Hibiki's putting like 110% into it.
Well, so I found it funny because, like, again, because of the fan service. First, we had the teacher. What's her face? The new character.
I can't remember her name. She's just the sensei.
The teacher that is the cosplay teacher. She's like on the machine where they lift it with the back of your legs so that you can work out your hamstrings. And she's just making all these fucking hentai sound effects as she's doing it.
I'll get to that later.
And then I can't remember what, like, they said something to Hibiki after the sensei got off. I can't remember what it was, and she was like,
she said she's making all these hentai sounds, and after the sensei got off.
Basically, after she got off the machine. Thank you. I'll finish that sentence. They said something to Hibiki.
Interrupt you again right at the.
And she said, like, they said something, and it was almost like she did a hold my beer, like, said, like, sort of like segment. And she just gets on there and just starts going to town. And it's like, they give her like the Arnold Schwarzenegger serious face, and everyone's like staring, like, oh
no.
And Machio is over there doing poses. Like, I was like,
he busts out of his tracksuit and he's like, yeah, do it.
What I found funny is like the narrator comes on, it's like, and everyone's staring at Hibiki. They're just in disbelief. But are they staring in disbelief because of her giving 110%? No. Are they staring because Machio is slowly taking off all of his clothes again for no reason? No. And then they pan around and it's because Hibiki split her pants again.
This I find hard to believe because she split her pants in her workout outfit, which tends to be looser clothing.
Yeah.
But she finds a way.
Hibiki once again finds a way to split her clothing because fan service.
Is this fan service or a fat joke?
Yes.
Okay. Figured that one out. It might be fan service because they did censor it.
Yeah.
They did censor it. Even though she was wearing panties.
Yeah. So, I gotta say though, because the next scene they show her walking home and she's like having a hard time just walking, and like even then I felt okay that was funny because again the comedy on the show can be really on point because like she falls and she falls with such force that you hear a split that she hits the ground in her street clothes. But you know that part.
You know, if you work out too hard and you just exhaust yourself.
Like when first time I signed up for a gym, I was in a gym for a while, and first time on leg day, I was sitting. I did the machines and I did all the things that I read about. Like, oh, you're supposed to do this, that, and the other. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that, this, and the other, and I worked it out. And I did my sets and all thing, and then when I was done, I was like, oh, okay, I'm a little tired, Oh man, a little tired, but. Oh, it's time to go home. It's time to go home. I'm gonna, but like between the machines where the leg machines all were, and the door were like these 3 little steps, like boop boop boop, and to upper level. I put my foot on the first level, and as I lifted my leg to go to the second step, my legs went, "No, we quit. Fuck you," and I dropped.
I do understand this because the last time I was taking classes at university in 2012, I decided I wanted to build up my leg muscles, and I decided the best way that I'm going to do this is climbing the library stairs. And at the university I went to, it actually has the tallest. The library is actually the tallest building in our state.
Okay.
So I was going up there. And
were you doing those like muscle failure exercise things where you're powering up those stairs?
No, I was just walking up a lot.
Oh, okay.
Walk up, I walk up. I get around like the 6th or 7th floor, and then I'd be tired.
Yeah.
It's hard to climb stairs.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember when I was back in high school, I just powered through it. It was like nothing. I'm like,
how did
we do that? How did we do that?
When I was in ROTC, one of the things we did for I can't remember what they called it. We would go in on Friday mornings, like super early, so that we could do this training thing, like a workout training thing. And we would do these things called muscle failure exercises. And one of the ones they would have us do is we go to the football stadium, and they had like the square spiral staircase thing that went up like 4 or 5 stories, and we just had to sit there, boom, 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 up every single step, and then down it, and then up it again, and then down it. Your legs hurt so bad. They hurt so bad.
There's like no way to build. Even if you do muscle training and stuff, there's like no way to build up the actual endurance to go up a flight of stairs like that. It's tough.
It is.
And just to illustrate that point, I actually weighed about 100 pounds less than I do now back in 2012. Yeah, I just let myself get a shit. Over the course of 6 years, I just let myself get a shit, yeah. Maybe...
Admitting is the first step. Admitting is the first step.
Maybe because of this show, and because my favorite baseball team picked up Yasiel Puig, who has the biggest guns in maybe all of baseball. Maybe I'll just go back. Like our catcher, Roberto Perez.
Yeah.
Hit this ball today, and he's hit a lot of home runs.
Okay.
But he hit it out to center field, which is like the longest place in the stadium to hit a home run.
Yeah.
And of course, he didn't hit it hard enough, and it was still in the field. So the center fielder Mike Trout caught it.
Okay.
And then he gets back in the dugout, and Puig just looks at him and is like, "Man, you need to hit the weight room." He's like, "Yeah, you just need to hit the." Everybody's like, "What?" Yeah, so maybe I need to just get myself back in shape, but I'm 30.
Yeah,
I'm 37 now, so never gonna be in my prime again.
Nah.
Never gonna. Damn.
But so Mickey is she's training for the relay. You sort of got way off topic.
We didn't get off topic. It was on topic. Muscles.
Muscle. It's not muscle.
Muscle.
We've watched this show enough. It's not muscle. It's muscle.
Yeah, so she definitely wants to train for this. I don't know where she gets this motivation, because.
I remember, because they were talking about. I finally remembered. At first, she's like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's cool.
Yeah,
I guess it's cool that doing this machine will, make you run faster by build up your your hamstrings and all these other muscles he labeled. And then he went...
All these muscles are going to be on the test, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, yeah. And then he goes, it also will firm up your ass and give you, like, the perfect ass. And she went, hold my beer.
Yeah, because she wants to get this perfect body.
And then...
Again, she's fucking hot.
Yeah. And then it's like, it shows her at the meet, and they're going to do the thing. And then she's like, aha. Yeah, what Akemi doesn't know, because she's racing against Akemi, she's like, what she doesn't know, what the audience doesn't know, is that we've swapped out their regular coffee for Folgers Crystals. But what the Akemi doesn't know is that Hibiki has been doing a secondary training to make her even faster. The bicycle squats.
Do tell.
Yes. Where you lay on your back and you sort of you crunch yourself, like you're gonna do you're doing a crunch, but then you sort of hold it, and then you do that thing where you take the opposite elbow and knee to each other, back and forth.
Good demonstration.
I can't do it right here. And apparently, it tones all this in here.
Yeah, because at first, well, no, that wasn't my point. I was like, how are you gonna add resistance to that? And you're like, it's its own resistance.
It is its own resistance. I mean, at least for my fatness, I mean, I sit there trying to do... I can't even do crunches, let alone bicycle crunches. I do crunches and I gotta do 5 crunches and my stomach goes, you're done.
You're done, just get out of here.
And I go, no, I need to get rid of you, belly. You need to be toned. And my belly goes, oh wait, you're serious. Excuse me while I laugh even harder. And then stops me. So, me doing bicycle crunches? No. No.
Yeah.
So the race happens, and
just go do some dragonflies, too.
Yeah, might as well. I'll be just as successful.
Great success.
So the race happens, and Akemi gets her baton, and Hibiki goes to get hers, but it's dropped by her teammate. Apparently there's a rule. I did not know this in relay races.
She'd violated the rules.
Because the person who drops it has to be the one who picks it up and then passes it on. Akemi was not the one... I'm sorry, Hibiki was not the one who dropped it, but she was the one who picked it up.
Therefore, she had to get disqualified because she's a filthy cheater. Or something.
And that's how that ended. And then we get one last segment of our 4 main girls in the sauna.
Making hentai noises.
They decide to have a competition. Which I love the big warning. It's like, warning! Do not do this! Extremely dangerous! Warning, warning, warning! Danger, Will Robinson, danger!
I want to go jump in a hot spring, but I don't think I ever want to just go
It wasn't a hot spring, it was a sauna.
I don't think I ever want to just go sit in a sauna.
Well, so the competition is who can stay in the sauna longest. And there's about 3 minutes of hentai noises.
Yeah, so I was thinking, man, if Cindy were to walk in the room and be like, is this what I think it is?
Yeah.
Not this time.
Well, yeah. And it looks like the teacher, she's like completely... She's at her ease.
She's like, I got this, bros. No problem.
And,
I called this one.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. Hibiki's friend, she ducks out first. I can't remember her name. Then Akemi ducks out. And Hibiki's all like, I'm not going down. I'm not going down with a fight. But Sensei, she looks like she's completely at her ease. And hey, wait a minute. Sensei pokes her and she's gone. She's actually blacked out.
Yeah, so very dangerous. Don't sit in the sauna ever.
Well, for long periods of time, especially without any, liquids in your body.
Yeah, that's great show.
Yeah.
Great show.
That's how it ended. With the teacher apparently dying in the sauna. So.
That's a sad ending.
Yeah. I didn't know her long. I only got to see her for 1 episode because I skipped 2 episodes. This show it's still funny. This show is still fucking funny.
Yeah, it is.
I love the exaggerated gags. Everyone plays their roles, perfectly. Hibiki's friend, unlike when we were complaining about Demon Girl Next Door, Hibiki's friend definitely plays a good, down-to-earth straight man versus the crazier characters that she's around. with Akemi's crazy muscle fetishes, Hibiki's over the top, anime protagonist, anime comedy protagonist, antics, and of course, Machio being Machio.
Machio best boy.
He is best boy.
He's like what was that guy's name in Zombieland Saga?
Oh, God, I had a hard time remembering his name even when we were watching it.
Yeah, the producer guy.
Yeah, I love that guy. Nice.
Which is getting a second season.
Yes.
I don't know if I feel great about that.
I do.
I think some shows are just good enough with one season.
Yeah, true. But if the second season ends, I'll just do what I always do. Rather, if it sucks, I'll just do what I always do. Pretend it never happened. Because I already have a good first season. I don't need to remember the other one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, go watch this show. Get your fan service.
Yeah. Oh, God, the fan service in this episode where they were talking about the hamstrings. And they do the...
It's every episode, man.
I know, but this one where it was just like she just lifts her... Like the sensei just lifts her leg, just... Boom! Just like all the way up.
Part of me feels like it's hard to avoid that because it's just like natural.
No, the natural way to show a hamstring is to have her stand there and go behind to look at the hamstring muscles. Not to like have her like splay with her legs open to show her vag as she lifts her leg above her head. That's not the natural way to show the fucking hamstring. What do you mean that's natural?
I disagree with you.
Oh, fuck off. Please. So that was how heavy are the dumbbells you lift. I'm actually, you know what? I was hesitant towards this show. I wasn't enjoying it at first. But maybe it took a shit show like Demon Girl Next Door to make me appreciate how brilliant the show actually is.
Yeah, I don't have any more thoughts. Do you?
Nope. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move right along.
This week on Astra Lost in Space, Featherhoof wants to make a point.
I wanted to at least say that this and our number one, I put together our ranking this week, and I had a hard-ass time deciding which one was going to be number one this week. And to be perfectly honest, I almost want to say this was a tie.
I disagree with you. These are the two best shows of the season.
I know. I'm saying, though, for this episode, this week, these episodes, I would almost say that they're a tie. It's not like this is second place and the next one is the first place. I just think these are both first place, and it's just, we have to talk about one before the other.
If I had to pick just two shows this season, though, these would be it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Except for number 0. That's at the top, yeah.
I don't get the appeal, but whatever, or even where it comes from.
I forgot about number 0.
I was hoping you would, but we're talking about Australia Lost in Space, though. This was an excellent episode. What happened this episode? Actually, a lot of things happened.
Excellence happened. Next episode?
Well, let's talk about what excellence. What happened?
Okay, so as I have been making the point, we're really getting hammered this season with the fan service. We are dropped off. Bro, did you not watch this episode?
That didn't happen until later in the episode, though. That was like over halfway through the episode before that happened.
Yeah, so we're getting hammered with the fan service. Heavy fan service.
There was.
We also get another point because the episode starts off with oh crap, what's her name?
Yunhua.
Yeah,
the first bit we get, it actually continues the last episode.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna skip that because it's irrelevant.
Yunhua gets a haircut.
Yeah, Yunhua gets a haircut.
We needed about 3.5 to 5 minutes about Yunhua's haircut.
It's a pretty good haircut.
It was a good haircut.
She must be a fan of Bloodstained.
Yeah, and she is the daughter of like a famous
pop singer.
Yeah, Lucy Lum or something like that.
Also, another point. They introduced Luca as an art student, right?
Yes, they did it. Yeah, he was
that is entirely false. Luca is a master craftsman.
Yes, Luca is the the Japanese MacGyver.
Luca can make anything.
Out of anything.
And after Yunhwa gets her haircut...
The bow that he makes for Ulgar is just like... it looks like something out of like a Final Fantasy bow. It's like it's got these fancy little curves and spikes on it and stuff like that.
I'm just going to go on a tangent about MacGyver. I was watching an episode once.
The original or...
Yeah.
Okay.
I was watching an episode once with... well, I wasn't really watching it. I just walked in the room.
You don't really watch MacGyver. It's sort of always on in the background.
It was the first few minutes of the episode. MacGyver gets in a fight with some guys. My older sister was watching it. And there's the thing that, MacGyver can make anything out of anything.
Yeah.
He gets in a fight with these guys, and he picks up a lawn chair and, pins this dude under it. And my sister's like, look, he made a prison out of a lawn chair. I was like, what? So, MacGyver.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. Yeah. Okay, so after Yunhwa gets her haircut, there's a cut about the diary that Ares has been keeping the whole time. And she's like, day, blah, blah, blah. And then it cuts over to her mom.
Well, it shows that the first one she made before they left. It was like the very first one she made, when she was talking about how Kanata saved her from the thief, but she kept getting all the words wrong.
Yeah, her video diary. She obviously had said that to her mom. And it cuts over to her mom, who was watching it.
Yeah.
And then she checks her email, obviously, because she's worried about Ares. It's 40-some days since they've gone missing. And this is kind of where I thought the show was just going to follow them, but there's more characters.
Yes, their parents.
Their parents actually exist. They introduce all their parents this episode.
And this was a really good scene.
Yeah.
I love this so hard. Because they actually introduced the parents previously through the kids. Like the kids were giving their impressions of what they felt about their parents and how their parents felt about them. And it was interesting to see the contrast of what the parents actually felt. Ulgar's talked about how his dad don't give a damn about him.
He's like, my dad's a dick.
He'd probably be glad if I was dead. And then it showed how, he was actually pretty broken up. And of course in a Japanese way, it's like, I'm a Japanese male.
I never show emotion.
I'm not allowed to show, breakdown in public, so I have to be very serious. But there's the little key phrases and
they all get together in this board meeting room or whatever, and the principal the vice principal actually, Ulgar's father, is like, man, they've been missing for 40 days, so we gotta file this government thing about that, and Ares' mother is like, well, if you do that means they're gonna be legally pronounced dead. And she's like, I can't accept that. They've got to be out there somewhere. And it seems like all the other parents have given up.
Most of them. I mean, they're not happy about it.
They're not like, yeah, we were in on this plan to get rid of them. They're like,
it's like,
you know what? Life sucks. This happened.
Yeah, we need to move on. It's been, even if we try to, she says. Ares' mom is all like, well, the boat never left, their luggage is missing, not just them, but all their luggage, there's no sign of them ever being there. Maybe they were in space, maybe they went to space, maybe there was a spaceship or something.
Yeah, and the one guy's father's like...
Kanata's dad.
Yeah, he's like, there could have been two boats, that's a more plausible explanation than...
Or just as plausible.
He's like, you've got no proof on that. You need to let go.
Yeah, it's like... You could tell, all of them, they don't want to pronounce their kids dead, but they're being realistic about it.
And then they do a shot of Luca's dad, who is a prominent politician.
There's something about, he was leaving a, I was confused by this. What was it, some kind of genetic thing that he was against?
He's against genetic engineering or something.
But then I guess it was passed, and he was there giving some kind of genetic sample, and they're like, why are you giving a sample if you were against it? You fought so hard against it? He's like, I have to obey the law. It was passed.
He says, I have to obey the law. He says two things here that no politician would ever fucking say. He says, I have to obey the law, And then they ask him about his kid.
Reporter. That was a dick move on that reporter's part. It's like, how do you feel about your kid still missing? It's like,
he turns to the like, bro, I am fucking torn up about this. So he says two things right there. No politician ever would fucking say that. Especially, I need to follow the law.
I think real politicians, for both of those situations, would be the exact same response. No comment.
No, he was like, define the law.
Define is.
Yeah. Is. What does that word mean?
So actually, this scene with the parents was like, god damn. I mean, Aries' mom seems to be the only one who's still kind of illogical about the whole thing. It's like almost all the other parents are Vulcan.
They're like, emotion is illogical. You need to be very deadpan.
He's like, get over it. Our kids are dead. Get over it. Like in secret. They're so terrible. But
yeah, then we go back and
this is okay. If I had to complain about anything in this episode, this would be it. It goes back to Aries' mom. She goes back home, and she like watched the video again, the last thing Aries ever sent her, and checks her email again, also still saying no email. And then it finally cuts to the midpoint where the commercial would be. And then as it comes back, after watching the grieving parents, yay, beach scene! Woo! We're on a beach planet! Yay! It's like, whoa!
So, yeah, it turns out that the entire crew of 9 kids is having the blast of their life.
The time of their life?
Time of their life.
We're having a blast.
I feel like they really get along with each other.
Where they suddenly got... Where did they get the beach ball? Where did they get the beach ball? I want the story, I want the backstory, and the journey of this beach ball.
Bro, you just complained about Dr. Stone having this fucking backstory.
It's a joke.
You want the backstory on a fucking beach ball?
It's a joke, damn it, it's a bit.
It came from the volleyball show, whatever the fuck that was called. The one that aired last summer. Haruka to Receive.
I'll take your word on that, I don't know.
Yeah, so we get more fan service.
More... We think we got the most fan service in Astra more than anything else.
I'm not going to complain.
They spent a good chunk of time just on Kiterie, Yunwa, and Aries comparing their bodies and their swimsuits.
Actually, Kitierie's the only one who was interested, who cared, because she's walking around and she just spots Aries and she's like, Aries, your tits are pretty big. You need to wash that out because these boys...
she refers to her as spicy.
Yeah, she's like, your bikini is very spicy.
I love it. Aries is all
like, the fuck?
It's like, oh, then your outfit's pretty spicy too. And Kiterie's like, no,
I'm
bro,
sexy.
Bro, I'm what they call sexy. Shabba-da-doo.
I do not disagree.
Yuri approved. Damn it! Yeah, there we go. Take it in. Come on. Yeah.
Seriously, Yuri
hell yeah.
Between these two.
But
and then Yunwa pops out of the water. She's wearing a one piece. Both Aries and
Mr. Cameraman is just slowly.
Oh yeah.
It's like slowly.
They're not even ambiguous about this. This is fan service.
Yeah. And there's even this part where she like caught Aries actually
about. And she's like, you know what? Get the fuck out of here. Your tits are even larger than both of us.
I don't see where Aries actually tries to, like, Kiterie makes her uncomfortable. Like, well, what if Kanata does already have a girlfriend, or doesn't like me? And she tries to, like, in her own stupid way, get the answers out of him, but he's too stupid to realize what's going on.
Yeah, Kiterie has figured out that Aries likes Kanata, and she's like, you gotta get him, girl.
She's like, what? What are you talking about? Huh?
She's like, no. And then Yunwa's like, you like Zack, don't you, Kiterie? She's like, no!
Shut up!
No! Yeah, so they're already shipping them.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're shipping them on the ship.
Yes, in fact, they were.
Yes, very interesting.
Yes.
So yeah, Kitari does convince her to go confess her feelings to Kanata, which she botches horribly because Kanata is dense.
The interaction, the ending of the interaction goes like this. Kanata goes, not Kanata, but Ares is like, do you have any, girlfriends? And he goes, yes, all girls are my girlfriends.
And Ares is like, what? And Kitari is spying, and then Ares is like, just never mind, and she walks away. And this is while he's brushing his teeth.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I had to.
So, Kitari just walks in there. She's like, I'm mad, and then she just like shoves his toothbrush right up his nose. And I have questions.
I do too, because I want to know why Kanata isn't screaming in pain. He's just going.
He's got a fucking toothbrush shoved up his nose.
He's just standing there nonplussed. It's like, huh, this is new.
How'd this happen?
It's like, I'm sorry, if I had a toothbrush shoved up my nose, I think my initial reaction would be like, ah! Oh, God! Ah! Do I pull it up? Do I pull it up? Do I pull it up? What do I do? What do I do? Kind of just sort of, huh.
He's like, how'd this happen?
What's for breakfast
and you know
tomorrow?
What? She's the ship's nurse, so he'd have to go to her if he got injured.
I didn't think of that! I didn't even think of that!
It's like, he shows up at the infirmary, and she's like, yeah, so what's wrong? He's like, toothbrush up my nose. She's like, yep, I put that there. Nothing wrong with you.
She gives it the stink eye. How did that happen?
Yeah.
I fell down some stairs.
Write that in your report. Yeah, so then we have that scene with Luca and Olgar.
Oh, they're bonding.
Yeah, Luca's trying to bond with him, and he's like, don't need to bond, I don't need friends.
Even though he's actually bonding with Luca, he just doesn't want to admit that he is.
And then Luca tells him his last name, and he's like, wait, you're the politician dude's son?
The fuck? You better not be fucking with me. You're, the son of Marco. I can't remember his last name.
And you're the son of Marco Blight? You're Luca Blight?
Oh, God. And he's like, yeah? Shit. And then they're having this big, everybody's together picnic. Like, we have to leave the Paradise Planet.
We're gonna have to leave the Paradise, damn it.
But, we'll take some pictures, and but we'll never get to. Sure, we can take pictures, but we'll never. The picture will never fade. But our memories of the emotions will. And it's such a sad thought. Oh, we're having a good time. And then Luca sort of turns his head over, and there's a gun in his face.
Yeah, he's like, nobody's our enemy.
Oh yeah, it was right after. It's like, I guess nobody's our enemy. Oh, it was just all paranoia. And fucking Ulgar's there with a gun.
He's like, gun's loaded, bro. You move, you die.
He's like, this is a real gun. Any y'all move, Luca dies. Just straight up.
And then the credits roll. Now, I do want to comment about the credits because they're kind of like throwing scenes in there about how their story's going or whatever. And it looks like they're just having the best times of their lives. Like, they really get along with each other.
Although, in every picture, it shows Ulgar in the background with his back to the camera.
He's like, I'm so broody.
Oh, behold how cool I am because I brood.
Now, my favorite picture of the end credits was where Zach and Kanata were about to sumo wrestle and had their shirts off and were like, yeah, we're going to do it. And then they had Kitari in the background going, yeah! they're having a fucking blast. Mm-hmm. I don't want this show to end.
I don't, but it's so weird. I mean, I think this is, if anything, I think this is why Vinland, I possibly put above this, because the contrast was so weird. We spent the first half before the commercial showing how dire it is for the parents, and oh my god, the emotional problems the parents are going through, followed by, yay! We're having the best time of our lives! Woo!
Yeah, you get this feeling that they're going to make it through it, though. But drama.
Yes. Gun. It's not even drama, it's just gun.
I'm fully invested in this show. I want to see where it goes.
Absolutely.
If we have to drop every other show, I don't care.
I don't know, but there's one show I'm more invested in. There's one I'm more invested in.
2 shows.
No, one more.
2 shows.
One more.
There's 2 more shows.
There's
2
one
more shows.
No.
Yes.
Moving on to the next entry. The number 1 entry. The only other entry that's next. And seeing as I actually let it slip a minute ago, number 1 this week is absolutely Vinland Saga. God damn, this show continues to impress. I love it so much. The continued adventures of poor Thorfinn. I mean, not only that, but I mean, just because it was sort of an aside, I'm just going to do it right here. They actually do show Leif Erikson going back to the village and telling what happened to Thors and that Thorfinn's missing to Hilda and Ylva. Mm-hmm. That scene was so, oh my god. Watching Ylva just like, she's like, hey, no, you're just crying over spilled milk. There's work to do. If they're gone, then shit, I got more work to do. I can't be standing here. The more time spent crying is time shit ain't getting done. I need to get shit done. And it's just it's that defense mechanism to try and keep.
Yeah, it was a defense mechanism the whole time because her mother finally calls her out because she's trying to do some work after the sun has set.
Yeah, she refuses to stop working. She's like,
if you don't stop this, you're gonna make a mistake because you need the light to do this. And she's
just
been holding it in the whole time. She's like
the moment she stopped working, like her mom took the tool out of her hand, and at first she's like moving her hand like, but now I can't keep doing things, and it just came pouring. Oh my god!
She just internalized it and let it eat her up, but she didn't show that she was really, emotionally in agony over it.
And the way this was, I don't want to just treat it as an aside, but it was a small portion of the episode, but it was, for as short as it was, it's fucking powerful. This whole episode is just powerful. I love it. But
I want to praise this episode for its backgrounds. The background art was amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it was. Although, there were some scenes, like the one where Thorfinn is, because they get to land, and after like a hard scene where it shows Thorfinn trying to survive, on salt water, because he has no other alternative, I guess.
It was salt water?
Yeah, because he tried to drink it and instantly was like, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Then they get to land, and he's trying to follow, Askeladd and his gang, and he's like walking through the forest. It looked like he was walking in front of a matte painting of a forest background.
I don't care.
A very pretty matte background.
These backgrounds were just fucking amazing looking. I don't care if it looked like it was a Doro thing where they just didn't fit in. Yeah, amazing. Best of the season.
Yep.
Best of all the seasons.
So they're in England, apparently, according to a subtitle that showed up for like a second.
Well, they wanted to get revengeance on those English bastards that raided their village while they were taking a bath on Saturday. No, not really. They just show up and start raiding a village because they're Vikings, and they do that, and they kill a bunch of men and rape the women.
Yeah.
I guess I was going to make a point later that Askeladd's not a bad guy, but that throws that out the window.
No. These are not good people by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah,
and the show...
I was dead wrong on that one.
Yeah, the show is quite clear. Dude, the first time we see Askeladd, his men are playing, are playing darts with a Christian monk.
That don't bother me.
Okay, whatever.
Just kidding. Bad men. They're all bad men.
I mean, we see
but
the first
kind of try to make him more grayish.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. There's no. If it's gray, it's a very dark gray.
Okay.
It's a very murky, dark gray.
Yeah. Bad guys.
Yeah, it's like calling Venom a superhero, It's like But so Thorfinn is still on his revenge. He's still out for revengeance. He obviously can't get himself a cybernetic, metal body, but finds the next best thing. a dead man's sword.
He should have used the dagger the entire time. He takes his sword out because it's nighttime, and he's like, I'm going to get Oscalot in his sleep. And he goes in there, and he's like, about to kill him. He's about to decapitate Oscalot. But he's like, I'm too honorable for this.
Well, I mean, you make it sound, so blasé, but he actually struggles with it. There's actually like a
This
good
fucking sword is bigger than him.
No, he struggles. He can't
He wants to kill the guy, though. I don't.
Yeah, but he can't do it. Dude, he clearly shows he can swing the sword. He can lift the sword. He could have let inertia just take over and just drop the sword on his neck.
The only reason he morally struggles with this is because he wants to kill him in a fair fight.
Yeah, but it was interesting to see that he actually struggles with the idea of killing a man in his sleep, even somebody who he outright despises.
His whole problem is that he doesn't want to stab a man in the back. He wants to stab him in the front.
Yeah.
Which he's never going to be able to kill Ocelot because he's like 2 feet tall, 5 years old, and...
6. He's 6. Come on.
He's 6.5.
Yeah, there you go. 6.5.
Gotta remember that half.
Yeah. Hey, he's about the age of Gohan when Gohan was being trained by Piccolo. I mean, come on. Oh, dear God, I just realized this is the Piccolo Gohan story.
Yeah?
Yeah. Being a young boy who's way too young to be trained in the combat that he's being trained in. He's being trained by the man who, killed his father. I mean, this is literally Gohan and Piccolo.
Piccolo did not kill his father.
They did. With a special beam cannon.
Well, Goku let him.
Yeah, but it still happened.
Okay, whatever, but Ocelot killed him for money. Piccolo just killed him because Goku's like, it's the only way!
Yeah, but Piccolo also wanted to.
And
they weren't friends then. He also wanted to.
Yeah, anyway, he can't do it because honor.
Yes.
I'm too honorable for this. So he just walks away, and Ocelot was awake the whole time. Like he was going to turn around and use his ninja reflexes to stop him if he actually used it.
Which actually proves that he does have ninja reflexes in this episode.
He's like, yep. And then the next day, his second in command, I don't know if they've given this guy a name yet or if they've said, but he's like, man, you look like you didn't sleep well last night. And he's like, man, there's just fucking flies in my room.
Noisy little flies.
Noisy fucking flies. He's like, okay.
And then Thorfinn's all walks out. He just walks out. He's like, I'm going to challenge you to a duel. He's like,
and everybody's like, the fuck? What? And they're like, Ocelot, go kick his ass. And Ocelot's like, man, I don't really want to do this. He's just a kid. Like, kick his ass. And he's like, well, I don't really want to do this, but I can't because my men want me to. Okay, I'm just gonna kick you a few times.
Yeah, because like
stay down.
Yeah, because like Thorfinn's grand plan, his grand plan to kill a man. I guess he's 6. He has a 6-year-old brain, so I mean, his 6-year-old problem-solving skills went. I have a sword, and there's the guy I hate right there. Obviously, he will stand still as I run straight at him with the sword.
Yeah, a battle-hardened soldier was gonna stand still. And he's like, bro...
Thorfinn literally has the look of surprise as Ocelot just easily sidesteps it.
He's like, bro... Yeah, and Thorfinn gets the sword stuck in some wooden sidewalk or whatever.
And then Ocelot proceeds...
No, I can't get it out. And he's like, bro, don't let your sword swing you. Which... he's like 6 and doesn't have any muscles. He needs to hit the weight room.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the sword will definitely be swinging him because he's not going to be able to stop the inertia.
No. And then, just to hammer the point home, Ocelot then comes over and kicks him in the gut.
And he's like, you like that kid? Here's another one. Kicks him again. and Thorfinn's like, yeah, I like it. Kick me again.
Yes, sir. Let me have another, sir.
So he kicks him again, and he's like, I'm done. Yeah, I've won this.
So then we actually get to watch Thorfinn struggle to survive for a little while. Even it's weird. it's almost like the crew, Oscar's crew, has like sort of like grown to like the kid a little bit.
I was kind of like gonna make the point that they're more of a neutral party, but then they do the murder and the rape.
Yeah.
Because they don't really they kind of feel bad for him. They're like, well, his dad died and he's just a little brat. We don't really want to kill him. And they're like eating this food one night, and he's like, "You want some? Here, take it."
Yeah, it's like this. It's scraps. It's not like a whole. It's not like a whole mutton chop or nothing. It's like this bone with some meat on it, and he screams at them and runs away. And it's funny because
Thorfinn's like, "It would be dishonorable to eat this meat."
I just find it funny because like the guys that look at each other like, "The fuck's his problem? We were just trying to help." Jesus. Pfft.
Yeah, so the show kind of tries to portray them in a better light than they actually are.
It's not that they're in a better light. It's just it's in a light where it shows it from their light, rather their point of view, where they go, "It's what we do," and
it tries to make them a lot more complex than just, yeah, we're just gonna run around, kill people, and rape their women.
Yeah, exactly. They do try to add some complexity to it, which I do enjoy.
Like, it does seem like Oscalot is a more complex character than just, oh, I'm a backstabbing motherfucker.
Well, it's not. He's a realistic motherfucker, you know.
Because after fake Loki's men come up there and deliver the money that he's owed.
Yeah, they like we verified it. Yep, here's your 5 pounds of gold.
They're like 5 pounds of gold must have been a lot of money.
That was a huge sack. Did you see that?
Fuck, I can't. I would want to go on like the internet to find an exchange because, like I said, 1 ounce is like $1,000. Oh man, that just sounds like a lot of fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like we also come bearing a message.
They came bearing a message.
Which really wasn't a message, it was a question.
Fake Loki like wanted to get off on this or something. Like he hates Thor that much, I guess. He's like, how does his death go? And Oscar's like, he's boring.
Yeah, look, it's a normal death.
Normal death.
That's what it is. I don't know, because like the two guys were sort of like, damn.
So he didn't want to give fake Loki the satisfaction that he was looking for.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, I kind of enjoyed the interaction when Bjorn goes out and finds Thorfinn out in the woods. Like, oh, hey, check you out. Here's
like,
what
so, man.
You're still surviving.
Still surviving.
Good on you, Bo.
Cool.
And he's like,
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Besides the whole rape and murder
stuff.
Well,
yeah. Well, it's like,
if you take that part out of them, it seems like they're a good crew of guys to sit back and have a beer with.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you're a good guy, except for that whole, you sort of like raped a woman to death last night, but other than that, I guess we can overlook that. I suppose that's almost what the show's sort of putting forward. But I mean, it's what they say Vikings did. I mean, if we're going to make a show that's supposed to be about Vikings, I mean...
They are a product of their time because it's 1,000 and...
1002.
I'm not even sure they had the Magna Carta at that time. Democracy? What the fuck is that? they made that 1,000 years ago. Fuck that shit.
But I love it because he's like... Thorfinn's trying to call him out as if Bjorn's going to give a shit. He's like, you fucking coward! You're the one who used me as a shield. It's your fault my dad's dead. It's like, no, your dad's dead because he was naive.
He's like, yeah, your dad was pretty fucking tough, but naive, bro.
Yeah, he's like, how dare you make fun of my dad? And he's like, dude, I'm just telling you how I see it, Bo. It's not an insult. It is what it was.
And then Thorfinn attacks him, and he's like, just bats away. He's like, bro, you just really fucking weak. Don't waste my time.
He does, yeah. I mean,
he's like gathering some nuts and berries, and he had a basket, and he just walks off. He's like, "Yep."
Mushrooms.
He's like, "Yep, I'm a badass."
Wait, this basket.
I just fucking slapped a kid.
And I have this like Little Red Riding Hood style basket full of like mushrooms and berries and shit. So Thorfinn comes back in the middle of the night. He's like, he hates himself for having to do it, but he he's eating their cold scraps out of the cauldron that's left there, and he comes back to, and like then we get like the 80s montage.
We get the montage.
He's like training with a sword, and he remembers what Oscar said about not to let it, swing him. So then he starts using his dagger,
and he murders a wolf in the meantime.
Oh yeah, he's just sitting there. Oh, that's
one
right.
XP. 1 XP.
2 XP.
1 XP.
No, you get 1 XP after you level up. And once he gets to a certain
okay.
level, then the XP gain drops.
Yeah.
Starts with 2 XP. But because he tries to, he tries to fight off with a sword, and then he's all like, "I'm never gonna kill anything with this dagger," and he killed a wolf.
And the wolf looks at him with its last look, like he wants to fucking murder the kid, and then it dies.
Because he had
horribly.
The wolf had that look that said, "I cannot believe I just got killed by that."
He's like, "Yeah, fuck my life."
As it ends.
Yeah, my life's over. Okay.
So he's like, "Oh, dagger better than sword because I'm tiny." Got it.
He figured that out.
And then we gotta have a montage as he learns to use the dagger
Walk to
better
dirty
and better.
countries.
Oh god. And then he goes to challenge Oscalot again.
He's like, "I challenge you to a duel again, Ocelot." And Ocelot's like, man, I don't like beating kids up. Go away.
And of course, then his men are like, "Come on, kick his ass, do it!
Kick him again. That was funny the first time.
And then he's like,
Not again.
And Bjorn's like, "Hey, you're the captain. You can't lose face in front of your men." And he's like, "Fine. All right." And he's like, it's just dismissed, like, "I, Oscalot, son of Thane, son of Thorn," whatever the fuck else. I can't remember. It's like son of whatever.
I accept your duel because I have to.
I think he did say that too, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's like, I accept your duel because my men want me to. Or something to that effect. And it sort of starts to go down the same way. He just starts kicking the shit out of him.
And it's obvious that Thorfinn cannot beat him because he's better trained, he has better skills, but he ambushes him by throwing the dagger.
Yeah, he's like
which is a skill he learned.
He's like laying
at level 2.
Yeah, he's laying on the ground, like not moving, not so like, "Well, I guess that was that." And as he goes to turn around, like that's when Thorfinn's like, "Surprise attack, bitch!"
But Oscalon was still paying attention, and he bitch slaps the dagger away.
Because people don't know that Oscalon, not only is he Viking, he's like level 13 Viking, but he also put like at least 5 levels into Ninja.
Yes.
Because he was just like, "Ting!"
And sucks to be Thorfinn.
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck, my ace in the hole didn't work."
And Oscalot's like, "Nice try, bro. I'm going home, though."
Tell you what, I'll make you a promise, Thorfinn. Before I go home, I'll make you a promise. If you do a great deed on the battlefield, then you can have another shot at me. And he went, "Do you promise?" "I promise." He's like, "Then I will have myself a glorious kill on the battlefield as soon as possible, so I can kill you soon. I promise you that."
Something tells me that Oscalon has no intention of following through with this promise. just something tells me. I can't put my finger on it.
I'm willing to bet that Oscalot's going to meet his maker. He's going to get killed by somebody else before
Before Thor, he didn't keep his promise with Thor's in the last couple episodes. So
well,
yeah.
he did. No, he did. Thor said before Thor's died, he said, I won the duel, and you will keep your promise. That you'll let them leave. You let them leave. Leave here alive." He's like, "I promise," and he kept his promise. He let them leave alive.
Okay, maybe he was going with the exact wording and the letter of the law.
Yeah. Thor knew he was not getting out of there. The archers were bearing down on him. There's no way they were going to get out of there.
Well, yeah, he could die before. It's a bad promise to make. He could die before
Thorfinn grows up and has the ability to take him down. So
Yeah.
not sure that was a good deal.
Well, we'll see what happens. I just this episode was so good. It was so powerful. In so many...
Plus, if he kills him, I mean, it's not like he's just gonna Oscalot's just like, yo, it was actually fake Loki that wanted him to die. If he dies somewhere else, Thorfinn's never gonna find out.
True. I think just the way that
unless Bjorn tells him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I think Bjorn will be the one to tell him what the
hey,
full
kid,
story.
Hey kid, this is what actually went down.
Because here's how I see it playing out.
He made us an offer we couldn't refuse. So
yeah, here's how I see this playing out. It's going to turn out that Thorfinn's with them for years. You know, that's because we see him in the opening credits, him growing, you know, and becoming the more ragged looking and stuff like that. He's going to be with them for years, learning and training, and secretly can't wait to, kill, Oscalot. But then Oscalot is killed probably by fake Loki.
Because fake Loki just doing fake Loki things.
Yeah, and it's going to, and Thorfinn's just going to be broken. He's like, I trained all this time for nothing. For nothing. And then it's going to be Bjorn's going to go, well, you know the reason your father died, right? It's because that guy there, he paid us a shit ton of money to do it. That guy? That guy.
Yeah, that guy in his late 50s. No match for you now.
He's like, well, then I have a new target. Because he killed my dad and my substitute father figure that I turned out to be my substitute father figure. That even though I hated, also sort of then grew to respect in a weird way because of some kind of weird psychoses.
Could very well turn out that way.
I can almost guarantee you that's how this is going to turn out. Because like I said, even though I'm enjoying this, and like I said, it's very powerful. Like, this episode was awesome. It really brought home a lot of emotion, a lot of character, a lot of really great scenes. I've seen this story played out many different times in other places. This isn't exactly a unique story. It's just the unique spin on it is Vikings.
You did that wrong.
I'm sorry. The unique spin
Vikings!
The unique spin on that is Vikings!
Yes.
So, any final thoughts on Vinland Saga? What I believe the best episode of this week.
I'm very invested in this show, and I want to watch the rest of it.
As do I. So, that was Vinland Saga this week. In fact, that was all the anime this week. And it was awesome. Mostly. So, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and say our goodbyes and get the heck out of here. And that was week 5 for anime summer 2019. It's just so strange how it's like Dr. Stone, man. I want to keep going with it, but it keeps pissing me off.
Use that anger.
But then I'll turn
anger
into
leads to hate.
Hate leads to suffering.
Okay.
I don't want to be a Sith Lord.
I don't want to suffer through Anakin doing his speech about killing the sand people. Yet again.
But it's so fun to do.
We'll do it another time.
Okay. What was it? Sadness leads.
Something fear, blah blah blah.
Fear leads to hate. Hate leads to anger. Anger leads to suffering, or some shit like that.
Blah blah blah. blah.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree, I guess.
I've sensed much fear in you. Whoa. I can't do Frank Oz. I can't do a Frank Oz voice. But other than that, I mean, everything else was awesome this week for the most part. I mean,
all the M&As were awesome.
My Mommy Isekai was. In retrospect, I agree with you. It seemed to have a problem figuring out what it wanted to be this week. I just don't think what the things that it decided on was bad.
It was just that the other shows were stronger than it.
Absolutely. And I'm actually, again, even though I was reticent against it, I was pretty reticent against it. Dumbbells is it's grown on me.
Now there's only one show here that seems to have deviated from the rest of the show this season.
What's that?
That's Vinland Saga.
How
Everything else seems to be fan service heavy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And the one show that I would expect to be gritty and to just show in a horrible way things like this, kind of Game of Thrones-ish, where they just show titties for reasons.
Yeah, I mean, we had like what was it? 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, we had Goblin Slayer, which had no problem showing rapage of the pretty graphic variety.
The monk is even worse about it.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the screen captures or the screen scans of that.
And Vinland Saga, we just figured they would, but it's not that way. Which, whatever.
I mean, I'll thank my lucky stars for that. I mean, the show already has me invested. I don't want to also be like, oh, I didn't need to see that. I'm kind of glad we're not seeing that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's actually like I'm glad that it's implied.
I mean, there's other ways that you could be like, I don't want to see that, like Dororo episode 15.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this season is turning out very, very interesting. This season, I think interesting is definitely the word that describes it.
Yeah. I got a show that I'm invested in, like Banana Fish.
Yeah.
A show that's a really good adventure in Austria.
Yeah.
And a bunch of fucking fan service. And
Yeah.
Dr. Stone. Our Battle Isekai.
I don't know what I even called Dr. Stone.
Battle Isekai? What the fuck?
I don't know
Am I
why-
delusional?
I'm trying to figure out
Battle
what...
Shonen.
I mean, I think we had a Battle Isekai, but we dropped it for the show. It was Granbelm, but not even that, no. Well, it's sort of Isekai-ish. At least the main character thought it was. That
She
first
got
episode.
shot down quickly, though.
I know, but it was funny when she was like, did I get Isekai'd?
Yeah, but this was week 5. I give my stamp of approval.
Hold on, wait. Yes. So with that, let's go ahead and take off. Guys, gals, and everything in between. If you enjoyed this episode, please let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done.
And don't forget to annotate the video.
Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all next time.